Look, man, I know as a man myself that asking for help can be hard, and accepting help is even harder. And then, even more, taking help that makes us feel like we're in a dependent position tends to be the hardest. And given this, I want to talk to you a little bit about medication, and especially medication for any kind of mental health issues going on. When it comes to men getting the right kind of help, taking medication when it is something that we could benefit from is often really avoided traditionally, historically, by men. And look, dude, I get it. As a dude, totally understand. And with all that being said, and after working with people in settings where a lot of times medication can be really helpful, and a lot of times I would recommend not doing it too. I want to make sure that you have the information for you that is going to work best, and you can make whatever balanced decision that you need to. Now, in the case of chronic healthcare conditions, whether this be diabetes, whether this is genetically really high cholesterol that we're doing everything that we naturally can to keep it in balance, but it's just not going to cooperate with us, and sometimes chronic depression or anxiety issues, look at the use of a medication can be beneficial. So let's talk a little bit about what that does. It is not like just taking drugs. They're not going to make you high. They're not going to get you intoxicated. They're not substances like this. They're not habit forming. What they're designed to do is create balance in our physical health, in the synapses of our brain, which is the space between the neurons, how messages and chemical messages are sent back and forth between our brain to create thoughts and to tell our body to do what our body needs to do. Sometimes, for some of us, we just do not have enough neurochemicals to keep everything in balance and convince us that everything is okay enough to keep moving with. So let's talk a little bit about what that looks like. So here we have two synapses of the brain. They look like these flat cellular structures. Behind the flat heads, it's mostly stringy. These suckers can go super, super long, and they never completely touch. They communicate through these neural synapses. And what happens is, let's say these are the ports for serotonin. Say, supposed to have many more, but let's say that someone that has anxiety is only going to have 3, right? So what happens is, through the course of life, this is how much serotonin is supposed to be in there. And let's say in the average human, they have 6 terminals to pick up on serotonin. So the serotonin goes, okay, we dock here, here. That's enough, we're full. Okay, so the person says, I don't have to be scared. We have enough serotonin, we're okay, we don't need to panic. Now, for someone that is predisposed to having chronic anxiety, they don't have 6 of these serotonin ports. They're only gonna have 3. So what the brain does is it goes, okay, so we dock here, we dock here, we dock here. Why do we have all these other pieces of serotonin, all these other chemicals of serotonin? That's way too much serotonin. That is not helpful. We only have this many ports. Why are you wasting all that energy on serotonin? So it goes, okay, we're gonna stop producing all that. Let's knock it off. We're gonna produce 1/3 of that. We got half of the ports. That was way too much. Just a little bit. And so that is what the brain keeps doing. And then over time, it can even get worse. The ports can go, oh gosh, we only have this much serotonin. So, we're just gonna knock that port off too. And then it goes less and less. And if this is something that we are genetically predisposed to, once it starts cascading, if we don't know how to get it figured out, it can just keep going from a molecular basis. And what psychotropic medication does is it creates a little flood of serotonin in, not like, taking drugs where you're going like, and feel intoxicated and like, hey man, touch me and kind of all this. No, not at all. It puts in a few more chemicals, a few more molecules of serotonin, so the synapse goes and create some new ports that the serotonin can come into. The synapse can go, okay, there's enough serotonin here. We're gonna let the brain know in that direction that everything is just fine. And what the medication does is it keeps enough serotonin in play that it has an ideal number of serotonin ports so that everything can stay molecularly in balance from a neurochemical perspective. And in that way, sometimes, for some people, taking psychotropic medication that is a good fit for them can actually be part of their balanced health.